and how we're spending our money and what kind of transactions we're involved with has changed a lot during the pandemic. The final article I brought with me today is from Live Mint. It's called Buy Now, Pay Later platform gaining popularity. 68% of customers from outside Tier 1 city, says Zest Money. So Zest Money is India's leading artificial intelligence-driven Buy Now, Pay Later platform. It observed a huge growth in customer base and demand in 2020. So basically, there was an increase of 20% within its women customer base just last year. So Buy Now, Pay Later is becoming increasingly popular in India because consumers actually argue that it's easier for them to understand the fees associated with it. So Zest Money is better at breaking down exactly what are the costs of buying now, paying later. So where consumers say that using a lot of other financing options, it's often not very transparent to them what the total cost of the transaction will be. Also, Zest Money is currently being accepted in 15,000 stores in India, but they expect it to be 400,000 stores this year.
Wow.
We can see there's been some changes in consumer behavior. So women are increasingly the big winner, one we love here at CanopyLAB, EdTech products. So because of the pandemic, women are buying EdTech products, and it's increasingly courses about like upskilling and reskilling. What are men spending their money on?
Shoes.
Fashion. What? But at least the women are getting smarter, and probably they're taking care of their children. I suspect that's what's happening.
Come on, women are buying everything, not only EdTech.
No, but they're saying EdTech is the big winner for females, whereas men, it's fashion. But other than that, it's actually high-end premium products, which makes sense that people want to spread the cost out. So it's cell phones, laptops, large appliances, fitness watches. Those are like the things that, in addition to EdTech, that are really booming. So again, with the pandemic, the need to work from home, to have your own laptop, to have your own smartphone, to be able to kind of follow everything that's happening, that's the kind of products that are being sold on there. And I think we've seen a lot of startups and a lot of companies grow from startups to scale-ups to IPO in that whole space of banking, internet banking, buy now, pay later. In the Nordics, we have Klarna, we have Viabil. So a lot of this, ability to fall in love with a product and not save money first. That's how I remember it. When I was a teenager, I wanted something expensive. You would be like, okay, if I work hard and wait like 1, 2, 3, 4 months, then I can buy it. Now everyone's buying it now, and then they're paying it off for 4 months, which corresponds a lot to the culture we have now. I see something, I want it now. It's all about instant gratification, right?
But do you think people should be kind of careful? Because you're actually spending money you don't really have. And they're making it very easy to spend money you don't have.
They are, but they do, obviously they do some credit checks as well. I'm hoping it'll help democratize access to buying things that give you a better life as well.
Yeah.
So for example, like I think a lot of areas are kind of hard to get in on. For example, housing. If you haven't been on the housing market, how do you first get that money to buy your first piece of property? That's where the barrier is. Once you've bought one piece of property, and if you did it well, you make money on it, and then maybe you can buy 1 or 2. So getting in the first time is always where it requires you to have money, and that's where the inequality of access to buying property exists. So what if we made things much more transparent with a lot of things in life? Because traditional banks discriminate. They can say that they don't discriminate, but they do. I know here in Denmark, I have lots of friends who aren't Danish in terms of their nationality, and they can have a hard time negotiating with the bank. But that's not fair, because they can come in with a totally reliable job and a long history, but there is a lack of transparency in how we're scoring them. So I think there has to be some sub-market of apps or new banking services that are willing to take a little bit of a bigger risk on the emergent group, the next frontier of the growing middle class. So I really love this, but of course there is a digital responsibility and not letting people be buried in debt. So when you go on those 6 apps and buy all the stuff for Valentine's Day, be financially mindful and have some fun. See you next week.